I thought I was already live, but apparently I had to move my camera first. How is everyone doing? Can you see the desk? Let's see. Hello everyone. If you're live here with me, welcome to the live stream. If you're here for the recording, for the recorded version, welcome. Oh my god, the chat is already so quick. Yes, we are live. You can see my hands. I hope the quality is okay. So today we are going to hand letter together. A lot of you guys want to see a live stream video, and also how to hand letter, but I always said I'm still learning, I have no idea yet, but I wanted to share some tips and tricks and just the basics, what I learned, and we can practice together. Is that okay? So I will be using just some paper. I have some hand lettering paper, but you don't have that. You don't have to have that. You can just use everything you have. Just I like paper that is smooth because usually it's very fun to use it for hand lettering because there's no like rough surface you have to deal with. So are you guys ready to hand letter with me? It's like my not the very first, but my first live teaching session, I guess. Proper one, I guess. So I'm good, thank you. How are you? Oh my god, the chat is so quick. So in case you feel like I'm ignoring some of you or something like that, it's just the chat is too quick. I can't read everything, so please don't feel ignored or anything. I'm here, I'm listening, trying to read as much as I can. So what we're going to do is we will start with basics. So do you have your supplies ready? So I will be using a brush pen, but you can use everything you have. Like I have this edding brush pen, and I have them in different colors. I'm just still trying them out. Got them like not so long ago, and it has this felt tip, and I feel like it's already feels like it's wearing out or wearing off. How is it called in English? So the one thing I noticed when people try to hand letter, and when I started hand lettering, I noticed that my hand was holding the pen wrong. So when you want to hand letter, you should try to hold it not just like that, no, not like that. Try to hold it more like here between your fingers here, like that. Because I feel like then you can, for example, if you would hold it like that, and you would write something, for example, like we will hold like that, and you will write like that. It will be like hard to get it properly, like all the waves, all the lines and stuff like that. So try to hold it like that. I feel like this is you have more control over it. And see, it's like I think the pen is already like getting old. So, and yeah. I have, maybe we can use this. It's better. I think that this is better. Which color do I have? What color should I use for the hand lettering? Which color looks pretty? If you don't have a brush pen, it's okay. You can also use like a brush, or you can also use an aqua brush, or later we will try the fake calligraphy. It's also great. Blue. I mean I have different colors, but they are not so visible probably. Maybe this one. Is this the one that I used? That's a green one. blue, red, white. I will be answering questions later, so if you guys have questions, then I can like concentrate on your questions later better. Blue, I don't like blue, okay. Maybe this is the one I used. No, this is too bright. This one. Yeah, I think this is the one. So, okay. So, let's start with the brush strokes. If you are totally new to that, I don't know if you heard about it or not, but usually when you use a brush pen, or if you calligraphy hand letter yourself, you usually go, like when you do the brush stroke downwards, it's usually thick, and when you go upwards, it's thin again. I'm using the adding brush pen. So the downstroke is thick and upstroke is thin. And this goes for like everything. For example, if you would go want to write an N, or I don't know, like a curve, you go thin up and thin thick down, thin up, thick down, thin up, and thick down. So you can just yeah, it's turquoise, but it's also like a blue. So you can use your brush pen and follow along and test it out if you haven't already. Just for example, you can use, like, I like to test out the brush pens whenever I go to the shop. I usually just write L's, because you have like an up thin, down thick, and then up again thin, thick down, thin up, thick down. And here you can try different things. For example, you can go like up thick like that, or you can for example go thick and then thin up. So you can get familiar with the brush pen and how to hold it, how to navigate it, and just testing things out. For example, if you notice, okay, why is, for example, I would try like the L, and then you notice like, why is this thick and not thin? Maybe you need to move your hand a little bit differently, or hold your pen. And also it helps when you write to move your paper a little bit, so it's not straight, more like that, and then you don't have to like think too much about the direction, so you can just go like that and just practice. And it doesn't have to look super perfect, so I don't feel like, oh my god, I need to like make it super pretty right now. Usually when you see people hand letter, for example, on Instagram, they usually post the ready, like the finished product, but usually what they do, they also go over the lines and fix something, and it's not like they make it perfect like all the time. So, are you following along? Do you have any questions for so far? This is a tutorial you can follow live, so I'm trying to make it as slow as possible. And if you miss the beginning, or if you can't watch it right now, you can just rewatch the recording. The brush, this is a adding brush pen, but you can use everything, like any pen you have. I like this one so far because the brush pen tip is not too soft and not too hard, because I have another pen that's by Pentel. I use this in some of my videos, and it's also great, but the tip is like very soft, so it's like you need to really like control it. And it's, if you're a beginner, or like I'm still learning how to properly use, because it's like very difficult to navigate because it's so soft. This is more like you have more control over it, because it's like thick, like more hard. So with the ballpoint pen, I will show you later. If you guys have the brush pen, you can like, follow along right now, and then use the same, like, because all these things I will talk about, you still have to know for the fake calligraphy. So since we did some exercises, so for example, again, we have this, we have what can we do, like this. Also practice some O's, because here you have to really make it thin, thick, thin. And you can practice, for example, like that and like that. This is some of the exercises you should, or like you can do for like warming up or just for practicing if you're a beginner. And if I feel like when you're starting out, it's very like difficult just to start hand letter. I find it helpful to do these exercises first. Thank you, Shakalaka, for moderating everything. Just saw that. So the first thing you should also remember that before we start doing anything is that with brush and hand lettering and calligraphy, it's important to be patient. When you see stuff on Instagram or on YouTube, it's usually everything is sped up and it's like super quick, like everyone's like hand letter, super pretty, super quick, but it's not the case. When you hand letter, you should really be patient and do one letter at a time and just focus on each stroke at a time. So don't feel like you have to rush, because you've seen so many Instagram posts where people like quickly drew something and it looks amazing. Usually they do it really, really slow. So next, before we can start hand letter, are you guys familiar with the lines, like with the guidelines when you hand letter? So here, for example, when you hand letter, where's my pencil? Usually when you hand letter, you've seen like we have, for example, the A, and we have the L, and we also have, for example, the Y. And the Y is, you see it goes down, here it goes up, and this is like the middle part of the letters. So to see it better, we have here, like that, and like that. And this is, yeah, this is the baseline. The baseline for all these letters. This is the waistline. The waistline, this is where the small letters hit the line. And this is the ascender. So I have no idea how to pronounce it, so I hope it's correct. This is the ascender, like where the longer, like the bigger letters hit. And this is the descender. If you want to learn more about these lines and how to use them, you can probably also just watch other tutorials that go into details, like for everything. This is just an introduction for you guys, so you heard at least about all these things, and then you can go out and learn more about that. So, do you have any questions so far? Hey everyone who's joining. Yeah, the live stream will be saved. We were also already taught about that. That's great, because usually when I feel like when I started out, I was just, I don't know, hand letter, whatever. But I noticed it looks really pretty when you follow a certain like guideline when you hand letter or do calligraphy. So what we can do now is we can create these, look at my new ruler I got. In the latest videos I used such a disgusting ruler, it was time to get a new one. So here I have a ruler and we can create together some lines. The ascender, waistline, baseline, and the descender. There are people use, like later you can experiment with the spacing, but for now I think it's enough to have just like, it doesn't have to be like exactly the same space. It's okay, but it's similar. Like that. So here we have the ascender, here we have the waistline, baseline, and the descender. So like that. I don't know if it's big enough. Maybe I should make it even bigger than that. Let's see. So it's more visible on the screen. Like that. So we have the A, V, W, B, and D again. So let's use this one, the blue, more blue one, not the turquoise one. So we can start with an A. Now we will do only the small ones, but even if you do the bigger letters, the capital letters, the technique is the same. You go thick down and thin up. Not dark enough. Thick down and thin up. Or if you like go like that, it's thick, up, thick. Or thick and thin. Yes? And now we can start practicing all the letters. It's like a very basic letters, no fancy ones, because they are more difficult and it's too overwhelming, I think, if you're just starting out. So, for example, let's start with, we have this, the baseline. Again, between the baseline and the waistline, there are the small letters. So we have the A. So we start somewhere below the waistline and then just go thin up, thick down. And if you see, like, for example, here the pen didn't do its work, you can just go back and redo it. But I wouldn't stress too much when you start out. I would just go and practice more. And then thin up. And then thick down. And also don't forget, after each brush stroke, each stroke in general, just go up, like lift your pen. Don't do, like, for example, just like that. Wait, like that and like that, because I mean, you can do whatever you want, but when you do it slowly and lift your pen up again from time to time, you can, like, you have time to think about where you place your pen later and where you want to start. And also when you draw each letter, don't forget to go a little bit like up, not just like here and then stop here, go a little bit up again. So you have like a point where you can connect it with the next. For example, if you do like a D, you have like this point overlapping. So yeah, practice a lot. And for example, you can just, if you have troubles with any letter, you can just do them multiple times until you feel comfortable with. Or if you more, like if you are good at letters already, but there's still some mistakes, it's okay. No one's perfect. You can still go over the letters and fix something and just make it more even if you feel like it. And then you can just keep on doing the same thing just with other letters. Start at this, like this. This is like the general line where the small letters begin. So we have what do we have? B. So you can go up again, the curve again, and then down. And when you go down, you move your pen to the side, and it's already hot English. It gets a little bit thinner, and then you go up again, so it's thin again. And you can either like go to the waistline, or if you feel like you want to make it a little bit more fancy, you can still like go still keep it here a little bit. It's up to you. Just I think it looks just like pretty enough if it's just here the waistline and the baseline are similar, like in the same spot. But later you can experiment, of course. Actually, the first one, you're not sleeping in the live stream. So, for example, we have the B, then we have C. It's also like be patient. You don't have to rush anything. No one is quick at that. Probably they just speed it up a lot, and then it looks like they're professionally and quick and everything, but probably they're not. We have C. D also like here goes thin up, then you goes down, and here up, and then there are different ways how to do this these strokes of these longer letters, but we will do just simple one, and then up. Is it? Do you understand what I'm doing? I keep staring at the plant. Should I put the plant away? I thought I want to be a little bit more like fancy, not too basic. So I would put all the things here so it looks pretty. You like the plants. Okay. So, okay, A, B, C, D. Also a tip, if you have no idea how to hand letter anything, like even the basic letters are too complicated, you can go to a website with fonts and just type in all the letters you want to practice, and they will show you different variations of hand lettering. So, A, B, C, D, E, F. There are also like different versions. Usually some people like do it like that, and then go down a little to this descender, and then go up, and then do it like this. But you can just do it as well, like we could just like this, and then I don't know, like do it even like that, for example. It's up to you. Is it clear so far? I'm using adding brush pen, but you don't have to use that. You can use anything you have. And you have G. And you don't have to be fancy when you start out. You can just do it like, just practice. It's the whole point when you're a beginner, and if you try to learn it and figure out how to do it actually, just focus on the brush strokes. I think this is the more difficult and tricky part than worrying about the design of your fonts and your letters. So just focus on the basics first. So for example, here you also see the F. We already met the ascender part and also kind of like the descender, depending on how you want to design your font. And then H, that. The beginning, like the starting of the letter could also be different. You don't have to do that. If you want, you can. And then just, for example, now we have a H, thin up and thick down. And if you feel like, okay, this is a little bit too thin, you can go over it and do a little bit thicker if you want. And then again, go up and down and then up again. And it's okay if you're slow, it's totally fine. You don't have to be quick. Just focus on, like, I think handwriting is really relaxing and it doesn't have to be rushed. It's like you're painting words, you're painting letters. You're not scribbling down just a, I don't know, like quick note. You make art. Here again, you can, for example, basics, I think usually people do it like that. And the L, you can also like do it like here. I think this is my favorite letter to hand letter. Again, let's prepare new lines. Where's my, here. You still see me? Yeah. Like that. Again, we have the ascender, the waistline, baseline, and the descender. So this is the one that we focus on again, because usually when I started out, I felt like, oh my god, where do I start? Where is the what? So just having some guidelines and points to remember to know where to start. I think it's really helpful. So we have M. Also, M is fun because it's like the basic thing that you practice in the beginning. For example, here you go down thick and thin up, thick down, thin up, and thick down. And here you can again do it like that. Some people do the M's differently, but the whole point is just to practice these lines. I think this is, if you get the thick and thin lines practiced and understood, you can do everything you want with them and just experiment and do more advanced styles of letters. And then you can go down with M, up, and thick down. Don't forget to lift your brush pen when you do the same thing. Like you go down, do we have M, N? What do we have next? I'm confused. O, so we have O. And then you can go like that. And P, we have go down like that, lift it up, and focus again on that. Why isn't there a dot on the J? Oh, I just forgot it. Thank you. It's like there's always something I forgot about to add or to, I don't know, color or draw. It's always a bad habit, I don't know. Then we have the Q. The same goes. Here we have this thin up and thick down here, and here we go first thick and then we go thin up. Now we started with thin, just the other way around. Yeah. Q. And this is the line where you stop. And I don't know, you can just like keep it like that, or you can, I don't know, be a little fancy and do some kind of designs, but that's not necessary. The R is the one that I think it's the most common design for that, is where you start, you have this kind of curl, and then this is a little bit thick, and then you go to the side, and then you go thick again, and then here up again. This is like the more confusing one, because no one's writing like that, but it's like the old version, like the traditional version, I guess. But yeah, this is kind of like this curve, like this curl here, and then you have the R. Like, I don't even know how exactly this letter came to life, but yeah. And the S, we have also the S. You can also like thin up and the curve to the left, and then thick down to the left, and then to the right, and then you can go thin up again. I still haven't mastered the S yet, because I feel like the S is kind of tricky for some reason. And then I think the most important part, or not one of the important parts, is when you draw the letters, don't forget to these lines that go up. I think usually when you start out, you don't think about them and just do the like T here and then the line, and that's it. But if you keep practicing like that and don't forget the lines up, you will have easier time writing stuff with the learned letters. Like ooh, up, and then that. So keep it like that. Don't forget the line that goes up again, because here when you start writing the next letter in your word, and you have already something to connect the two letters together. Like that. I'm a little stressed because I don't have time, like space here anymore. It's like the worst thing you can have. And you can do like that, but here again, you can also go to this waistline, or you can keep it here. I think the most important part is just to have this straight, I think, but it's still like however you like it. And then the X, we'll keep it, try to make it without X's again, like that. It's like the same. Go thick down, and when you go from the left side to the right side, like that, it's thick, but usually when you go like that in this direction, it's thin. So in this case we have the X like that and like that, and then you have this connecting point, and then we have the Y thin like that. And the Z is also like, I think, a weird letter to hand letter, because there are different designs. It depends on the font you're going for and stuff like that. So there are like fancy versions. For example, there are versions like this curl thing, and then there's this, and then you go down, and then you go here, and then like, but it's like the more fancy version and more advanced. Do you have any questions so far? Beginner fonts to start with. I don't know exactly the names of the different fonts, but just browse through. For example, there's a website called the font. Let me write it here. It's called dafont.com, I think. Or other, it's just the one that I like because it's like looks not so cluttered and everything. And then you can just type in, go to the section hand, like I don't know, it's hand lettering or handwriting or something like that, or like calligraphy. And then you can type in, there's a bar where you can type in some word you want to write in hand letter, and then you get a huge list of different fonts, and then there's like, I don't know, the ways how you can write test, or I don't know, hello or whatever. And yeah, and this technique you can also use with I also have a brush, like a, how it's called, an aqua brush by Pentel. I finally got myself the real aqua brush because I had the fake one and it was just leaking from all sorts of, I don't know what, and was so frustrating to work with. So if you have that, just quickly showing you an example. What color? I don't know. Let's do this color, like this color. And then the same here as well. You can, oh, it fits my nail polish, haha. Like, it's just a little difficult because it's like softer, not so hard like the brush pen I just used. Because you can see it acts differently. So if you go and use on something else in a brush pen, or like all the brush pens are different, like they all feel differently. So just test out and practice how to hold the pen, how to use it properly and stuff like that, because they're all different. Because for example here it's a little bit more difficult to use this type of brush. And let's write hello so it's not hell. Yeah. Or what else do we have? I also have a Tombow brush, not brush, it's like also brush pen, calligraphy pen, but it's like, has a soft pen. I can't English, I don't know. I can talk and think at the same time. This has a thin tip and it's great for like small writing, like if you want to write a small tag, or I don't know, like just don't want to make it huge like that. Let's use this. And there are different versions. I think they're soft and hard or something. And here as well, the same. I don't know, I feel like wasting. I want to do it like here. It's like very thin and looks more like calligraphy, so I don't know. I'm rushing, that's not good. But just wanted to show you the difference. Like this is like a thin and great for like more detailed things, because here you can have this thin line, you can make it more thick and stuff like that, or like even thicker. Yeah, so this is that. So if you have an art store in your town, I was in one in Berlin, and they had like a huge table with different brush pens, and you can actually try them out yourself. I can see what feels better, and I spent like, I don't know, probably almost an hour testing all different pens. And there were pens, for example, the Tombow brush pens, I felt like more difficult to use than this adding ones. I don't know why, because I've seen people using the Tombow brush pens, like similar to this one. But I felt like, I don't know, I didn't like them, and they were expensive, so I don't know. but I like this one, and also this one that I showed you guys. It's just more difficult to use, as I said earlier, because it's so soft and like you can see it bends really easily. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. If you missed the stream from the beginning, it's okay. You can rewatch it later, and then you can rewatch the beginning how to do stuff. So, but since not everyone has a brush pen, and that's totally understandable, you don't have to. I will show you how to fake it. So this is like the fake calligraphy. The fake calligraphy has the same rules kinda, but since we only have one width that we can work with, we need to fake it somehow. So let's create the guidelines again. So this is for everyone who has no brush pen or anything like that, or just lazy to use it, or I don't know, just want to do more work or something, I don't know. But it's like more, it's easier for sure. And I usually like to use it because you have time to design it and to think about, and you don't, I don't know, I feel like the fake calligraphy is a lot easier, but it's fun to mix things up from time to time. You have this one again. Okay. So for that, I'm going to use my Faber-Castell Pit Artist pen. I think you've seen this already in a few videos. And it's a I also have a large one, but I don't know. We'll start with this. So basically, again, the rules are the same. You go thick down and thin up, but since we only have this, we can't do it. So what you want to do is, for example, you want to write an A. So you write an A like that. And then you remember, okay, when I have to go down, it's thick. And when I go up, it's thin. And when I go down, it's thick. So you want to do and create a second line next to it. So you have like here, this is thick, this is thin, and you have this thick line goes here. Yes? Can you see it? And then you can just color it in. And then just, or if you like, make it thicker. And here it's important when you do it this way to remember to space the letters out properly. So you don't write it too close to each other, because then you don't have enough space to do that. So for example, if you, we have now, let's do an L. We have like L, just write it the way you want it. And then just create a second line where it needs to be thick. And just color it in. And then you have the same thing, but just with one normal pen. It's just more work because you need to color it in, but I think it's fun too. I think like it has pros and cons if you hand letter with a brush pen. You need to practice a lot. Here you can just write the way you write. For example, you want to write love. Space it out and don't write it next to each other, like there's no space. Just space it out so there's enough space for everything. Like so, normal. And then just create the second line next to it. And here, for example, since we have so much space here, we can just do it like here or even here. And we have like room to play around with the thickness, because you can make it as thick as you want. Then here again, like so. And then you just need to color it in. And this way you basically can create anything you want, and you don't have to worry about holding the brush pen correctly or have. Is it live? How do I turn it over here? Is it working now? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Let's get it back here. My construction. Oh no, it's not rotated right. That's a disaster. I don't know what happened, guys. It's such a great flow. Let's see. On with this app. Do you see it correctly now? No. Yes? Okay. I reset up again. Please hold. Welcome back. I don't know what happened. But yeah, this is the basics for fake calligraphy. And then here you can just do whatever you want and write everything you, for example, can write hello. And just do the, I will take a thicker pen. I have a thick example this, and then just thicker. And because you have to add this second line, it makes it look more like hand lettering, calligraphy thing. It's important to have some space, so don't forget. Don't write just like, I don't know. Hello, because then you don't have like space at all, and it's, or like, I don't know. So a little bit, so you have like little space to work with. Calligraphy. So yeah, that was we have, what did we talk about? We talk about the basic brushstroke. So if you missed at the beginning, all in all, the basic key things is you go thick down with the pen, brush pen, thin up, and you can do different exercises. Thin up and thick down, or thick down and thin up, or the O is a great letter to practice. And just do exercises thick down, thin up, thick down, thin up, and just do different waves and everything to practice. Then we talked about the spacing of the words, not words, the letter. We have the how it's called, the ascender, the waistline, the baseline, and the descender. And here in the middle, between the waistline and the baseline, there are these small letters where they start and end. Here at the bottom, baseline, waistline, and they end. The longer, like the L, for example, hits this ascender line. And the Y or other letters that are like that go here. I mean, you can do it like here, or if you want to be like super precise, you can just keep it like in this line. But with this, I think it's not that important than having this line similar. And then if you are like super pro in all these lines and you've mastered all the words and letters and whatnot, you can even do like fancy things. For example, you can divide like what some people, is it working? Yeah. Divide, for example, the upper line a little bit and this one. And then do some fancy writing, for example. I'm still like have no idea how to do that properly. But for example, what you would do is, for example, write it like that. And then go up and then write the O like here. Then go down with here and then go up here. So then you can experiment with different designs of where to place what. And then, for example, you can start between these two and then go here and then go here. And I don't know, like you can experiment, but I think this is more advanced and needs a lot of practice because you can get confused like where, what's the line and stuff like that. So I would do that just for fun, or if you already feel like you're more comfortable with, and just practice and experiment with these ways how you can like write stuff. But this is more advanced, so yeah, this is all the basics. And do you have any questions for hand lettering? And yeah, need to be really patient with when you hand letter. Don't rush anything. Focus at one stroke at a time. And if you don't have brush pens, remember you can do the fake calligraphy just by adding a second line next to it. So like just add this one. And then you can just color it in and you're done. If you missed the live stream and if you're just starting out to watch it and you're confused about what's that and why is this, you can just rewatch the live stream later. How do you do those extravagant lines with GY? What do you mean? So what do you have here? We have this alphabet here, also like this. There are different ways. Go to some, like you can just look for different fonts online and practice. And I wanted to keep this live stream like short and sweet and just tell you all the basics. For example, the big letters, the capital letters, they also depends on how you want to like design them, because they're the same. Like you can, for example, if you have an H, you have like thick like that, and then you can do it like here, for example, or if you like have an A, it's like it depends on how you want to do it. For example, if you want to like just do it like the basic shapes, like normally if you would write it, for example, I would say I don't know, for example, I would write it like that and normally. So if I want to do it similar to that, you can just again thick down, up it's thin. So here again you have like this, and it's just there's no like it's the same as with small letters, just thick down, thin up, and then for example if you have a C, it's the same as the small one. Then we have the D like that, and then from there you can experiment and design every, I don't know, for example, go fancy and create an I don't know, anything you want. What do we have? M. Also, for example, I would write the M like that normally. So here, for example, I would do it like that. Here it's thin up, stick down, thin up, stick down. And this could be also an M already. And then we can write Monday, for example, more. So it depends. It's the same technique, just needs a little bit. I would write out, for example, A, B, C, D, E, for example, and then just practice any like designs you feel like comfortable with, or like F. Like there are different ways, and you don't have to be like super fancy. Just focus on the small letters first, and then you feel like, but now I'm ready to use capital letters. Then you can, for example, watch other tutorials just for capital letters and focus on that. I just wanted to show you like the basics, so you heard about all the basics at least, and know what other people are talking about, and so you're not super overwhelmed when you watch another tutorial. And I hope it was helpful. So, do you have any last questions? Yeah, we can practice in bullet journals. I would use some not super thin paper, just any paper you have. Here it's a calligraphy, not hand lettering paper, but you don't have to use that. I also have just a notepad. I have like it's from Fontaine. I like it, and I like it because the paper is also soft, and the pen glides really nicely. And I've used these for ages. And I think it's slightly thicker than this paper, but I'm not sure. So yeah. Bullet journal setup. I would do more bullet journal setups, but I'm currently not using any bullet journals, and I felt like it's more work, and I'm trying to figure out what works best for me, because sometimes I use Google Calendar, sometimes a to-do list, sometimes a calendar, so it's very depending on what I'm feeling more towards to what I could use now and then. Which brush pen would you recommend? Right now, I'm really into this adding brush pen, because it's like not too soft, not too hard, and if you're a beginner, I think this is a fun, like easy to use. I think you can get a pack. I got a pack. I think, how many pens does it have? Like a lot. How many pens? I don't know. At least 12, I think, and it's like €1 for one pen if you get it in a pack. But I'm not sure exactly what price it was. Is it not focusing? It looks focused. I don't know. Can you do this with calligraphy dip pens? Yeah, I think that like the real calligraphy is a little bit different, but I think it's still the same basic techniques on how to create the lines, just a little bit more fancy. And they have another tip. They have not a pointed tip usually. They have more like how it's called, like a straight kind of line. So just experiment. You can just go, for example, in a craft store and try out different pens if the store offers something like that. Or I think you can even like purchase probably on Amazon, and if you don't like it, you can send it back, but I'm not sure but I think so, you can. If you feel like this is too difficult to use, then you can send it back. And I'm still learning, and I'm still figuring things out and how to do stuff, so haven't mastered yet, but I just want to share with you some tips and some things I learned so far. Any other questions then about calligraphy and hand lettering? Is it not in focus? Looks in focus to me, I don't know. It takes some time, but for the basics, I think you don't need too long. Like if you practice every day, I think you can get like a lot better in just 1 week, because you just need to focus on these basic lines, and then just do it every day for the next few weeks, and then like it's just important to be consistent with that and practice. And then if you feel like, yes, I mastered, I think my lines are already like thick and thin enough, then you can do more fancy things. And if you feel like you don't get thin lines, for example, because I don't know, the pen doesn't work properly, it maybe your brush the brush pen is already like old, and the tip of the brush pen is already like worn off, and you might need a new one because the tip is just not pointy enough and hard enough. So yeah, I hope it was helpful for you guys, and you can use this knowledge and practice a little bit more. If you recreate some hand lettering, some letters or some words you from learning all this that I showed you guys, you can always tag me on Instagram, Twitter, with the hashtag #mako. Don't forget, I usually post it at the end of every video. And hashtag, wait, how do you do hashtags? Hashtag look mako. And then you can tag me with the hashtag, and I can find your recreations or everything you created. There are so many things you guys already shared, and I always try to keep up with everything. So it might take a while until I get to your drawing or painting or what you submitted, but I see everything, so don't worry. So yeah, thank you so much for joining the live stream. I hope you liked it, found it helpful, and I wish you a great rest of the day. It's already 5 p.m. here, and you might be just starting your day. So I hope you have a great day, an evening, and yeah, I will see you in the next video on Saturday. So yeah, bye. Just need to turn it off. Wait guys, I got it. Bye.